Welcome to a new episode of Behind the Lens. I'm Paul and thank you for watching. I've had quite a few questions over the last couple of days regarding the gimbals for the G7. A lot of people out there still own G7s and I've answered those questions. I've done a series on gimbals which were not so successful in terms of that I can use them from Xeon. So you can watch a few of those here. With that said, it made me think, obviously a lot of you out there are still using your G7s or GH4s or GH3s, so cameras which are older than 5 years now. They've all been released in 2014, 2013. They're all micro four thirds. So I was thinking, what would be a good camera for somebody to start with, or maybe change into in 2020. There's many cameras being released at the moment and they're all kind of good. Every camera is good nowadays, so don't worry about that. But I was thinking, what makes the G7 so unique? This is the Lumix G7, and as you can see, it's got a micro four thirds sensor, so it's relatively small. It's got a crop factor of 2, which means is if you have a 25mm lens on a full frame camera, that equates to 50mm. So with it, you got a camera which is it is relatively small, as you can see. And one of the things I love about this camera is that it's very light. And one of the good things about Lumix lenses and also Olympus lenses, because they're also micro four third, is that they're very lightweight compared to some of the other lenses, specifically Sony, Canon, Fuji. They can be pretty heavy, but they're also pretty much in price point a lot more expensive. But a bit on that later on. So if we go to the cameras, we know it's light. We know it's got a 16 million megapixels. What we also in this camera see, and this is one of the things that I personally like a lot, is that you've got a screen which tilts out horizontally. Which is great. I have on my Sony's one screen which tilts up vertically, so it comes here above the viewfinder, which is great because you can see yourself as I'm currently also doing. But the downside of that is that you can't really do like this, and I really miss that. I have the Sony A7 Mark III as well. It doesn't have it. This is really cool, and also the quality of the here we are. The quality of the menu and the way it's all integrated, it's very intuitional. I think Panasonic has done a hell of a lot of better job than Sony has. So I really like it about this camera. One other part which is fantastic about this entire camera is that you can actually shoot in 4K, and this for a camera which was released in 2014. So you can shoot in 4K at 30 frames per second or in HD at 50 or 60 frames per second. Now, if you look at the latest cameras from Sony, they all go in full HD up until 120 frames per second, and some even higher. That is great, but those cameras are twice the price point. Which brings me to the third point, which is the price point. You can get this camera, so it has 4K, Ultra HD, 16 megapixel sensor, very good ergonomics. So the grip here is fantastic. It's lightweight, and on top of it, the battery life is really good. If I compare it to the A64, where I'm shooting on right now, I'm 4 minutes in it and I already see 14% of my battery life gone. With either the G7 or even the GH4 is even more bizarre. You won't see that. It's fantastic, the battery life. It's really fantastic. And what makes it even better is the price point. You can get those now new, with a 1260 kit lens or any other kit lens for under €500, new. So second-hand, you'll probably pick them up for 250. So that makes it a really good buy to add to your arsenal. Another thing, besides the fact that Panasonic and Olympus lenses are pretty good, they are also very much lightweight and they're relatively cheap. I have about, I think 7 or 8 lenses laying about. And none of them Leica class, so all of them normal Panasonic or Olympus lenses, and none of them are above €300, which is compared to Sony pretty awesome. For Fuji, you don't have anything under 300 euro almost. So it really is a competitively priced, not only camera, but also the lenses are pretty good. One of the other things as well, the fact that it has 4K full HD and you can actually take quality pictures with it, and it makes it so portable. Yeah, you would almost say it's a perfect camera. Well, guess what? There's 2 points where compared to the GH4, which is very similar in features, yeah, it doesn't have image stabilization, which could be a problem. But then again, you have tripods, you have gimbals, so you know there's ways of stabilizing it. You can do it within neck strap. So for me as a photographer, it really isn't that much of an issue, because I've never seen pictures out of focus. If you have a lens which has kind of stabilization built in, you can already compensate it, although those lenses are pretty expensive. In that case, you better upgrade to a GX 80 or something. That's one part. The other part is it's not dust sealed or weather sealed, and that itself is not even that much of an issue, but it's also not very well dust sealed. So if you go on holidays and stuff, dust will creep into it, and that's one of the things which I would say kind of kills off the entire buzz a bit. But that said, the price point, the performance, battery life, it's fantastic. People are stating Micro Four Thirds are dead. They're talking from their ass. They really are. Micro Four Thirds is not dead, and it will not be dead. Panasonic with a GH5 and now the GH6, previously GH4 and 3, have launched professional graded almost film cameras with really high quality. Good selection of lenses on it, good selection of mounts on it. So I don't see Micro Four Thirds being dead. So in 2020, is the GH7 a good choice to buy? Hell yes. Now, if you want the weather sealed version, buy the GH4. It's actually weather sealed. It's a bit more focused on video, but you can still take some awesome stills with it. And they're both at below 500 euros new. Secondhand, you can get them for no money. So that's definitely worth considering. So that's why I'm thinking that the G7 and even the GH4 in 2020 is really still a good choice. Yeah, and of course there's downsides to it, but battery life is good, ergonomics is good, it's got good app, the app is very well integrated, it's got 4K video, and it's got also, you know, I almost forgot it, it's also got Cine D and Cine V, which are 2 video modes, which gets you pretty awesome video immediately out of the camera, but it also gives you the choice to edit it, yeah, and you can still get amazing effects out of it. So with that, I'd say, guys, from my side, it's a buy. Hey, if you like this episode, you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. I normally always go into the questions. Yeah, if you want to follow, that's fine, but I seldomly do as well, so I can't blame you. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. See you the next time.